So, welcome back for part 7. I've decided this is probably going to be last but one. I don't want to rush through the last bit because I think the finishing off is sometimes where people might struggle a little bit. I know I do. Might not look like it, but I do. So I just wanted to show you the front of my book and where I am at the moment. I do like a little bit of word on the front, or wordage, or saying, or something like that. But honestly, I've been fussing with this for a long time, and I've had it in 2 different places a lot, so the other place it could go is here. And I quite like that as well, but I do feel that something is needed here. I've been using bits of the bling, which I've used throughout the book, but it's too bright for the cover. And ultimately, I think I'm going to go for this one. So this will be, all of this will be glued on with Fabri-Tac. I may put a little bit of thread through one of the buttons, maybe all of them, I'm not quite sure yet, just to add a little bit more detail. I really would like a charm on the front of this book, so I'm thinking as well that I might use this little scrap of sari silk, thread this through with a charm, and then glue it on here. But again, I've got to think about that a bit more. Okay, so the other thing I'm going to do, 2 things today, is show you where I would set the eyelets, and I do this really simply. My book measures 9, so at 4.5 I'm going to make a little pencil mark quite near the edge. Same on this side. And then I'll use my crocodile, as you've probably seen me do before if you've watched my tag bag videos, to make a hole and set an eyelet. And because of the nature of the colours on this book, I will use a brass or copper eyelet, similar to this pin. I'm also going to put one up here, another eyelet, really close to the spine of the book and as high as I can get it. I don't actually mind if the hole punches through the stitching, because the eyelet sort of clamps that in place anyway. I want to be able to put a pin through there and tie some ribbons on the top, and I have been collecting and saving some of the bits of ribbon and lace that we've used so far to do that with. I'm going to use this lace. I've used scraps of this in the journal here, and I'm going to use this for my ties, and that will also have a piece on the back. Okay, so the real purpose of this video is to show you how I sew these little pages in. I've decided to use 3 pages, not 4, not 2. So I cut another one of those, and I'm not going to do this too precisely. I'm going to, hopefully, I'm going to pin my pages together as central as I can get them. And this is the way I sew in the signatures anyway for anything that I'm doing. For this one I'm going to use 3 holes, not 5, because it's such a small book. So let's just make sure that's all neat, as tidy as I can. And for the purposes of this, I'm going to more or less eyeball it. It's 5.5, so I need 2 3/4, which is about there. So I'm going to put a little hole there. I'm going to put one about 1/2 inch in from 3/4 inch in from the end, and the same this side. And then I'm going to use embroidery floss in this instance because it's a mini book within a main book. I don't feel the need to use the waxed linen thread. 6-stranded cotton. I've taken 3 strands because I don't want it too thick. And I'm going to go through the middle hole. I'm actually going to do this, I've just decided I'm going to do this the other way around, so I'm going to have the tails on the outside. So I'm going to go through the middle hole. Doesn't matter which way it happens. I'm going to go through the top there, all the way down to my bottom hole, which I can see is there. Sorry, this is really hard to do at this angle. Now I can't see the hole again. So I just go in from the outside, and there I can see it. So all the way down from top to bottom. As I say, this would work just the same if you were coming from the inside to the outside. And my thread's just come out of the needle. Go. And then I'm going back through the middle, but I want to come up on the other side of this thread. So I want to come up on the other side of the long thread. And then I'm just easing that to tighten it up, checking that it's tight on the inside, and then I'm going to knot it. And I'm going to do that, well, I call it a reef knot. So it's right over left and under, and then left over right and under. Creates a flattish knot, I believe. And at the moment I'm going to leave those long. The reason for that is that I may decide to add some beads or something onto there. So where's my pocket? There's my pocket. And although the book obviously works this way, I'm going to put it in the book this way so that the rose is showing. And with the threads on the outside, I may decide to leave those hanging with some beads on, but I haven't actually decided that yet. So I'm going to finish that there. I'm going to set these eyelets, finish my front. I'm going to put a fabric pocket in here, and I will show you how I do that, and then we'll be finished. I've also finished the decoupage pieces that I was doing, so we've got a little bit here. Where were the other bits? Not there. A little bit here. You can see it's slightly shiny. I'm not worried about that, and hopefully whoever wants this book doesn't worry about that sort of thing. And just a little tiny bit down here. I didn't want too much to dominate. And there we go. So I'll see you all for the final part shortly. Thank you.